Sedu started many years ago. Thanks to my frequent visits to Sedu House, I love the bold colors, the beautiful designs, and the stark geometric patterns. What started as an appreciation for a dying craft developed into a passion for a heritage rich both in heritage and in beauty and purpose. Sedu was the artistic language of Bedouin women. It was their form of Bedouin poetry, the poetry of the yarn. Illiterate women who managed to create a practical and beautiful art form using only their imagination and the few resources at hand. Sheep's hair for the yarn, fruit rinds for the dyes, and wooden poles for the loom. On the basic ground loom, their hands wove the environment around them. They wove sand ripples, heaps of dates, pools of water, goats and snakes, earrings and combs, and sometimes even radios and airplanes. Bedouin women were the architects of their own homes, Beit Sha'ar, the world's largest hand-woven structure. Panel by panel, they wove their tent walls, inside and out. For the outside walls, which were plain and dark, they used the black hair of the goat, which was perfectly adapted to protect from the sun, heat, and rain. For the inside of the tent, they used the soft hair of the sheep to weave rugs and room dividers that separated men and women's quarters. The dividers are known as qater, and they were woven in bright colors and bold patterns to brighten up the uniform desert environment. These qaters extended 15 to 20 meters in length, and they extended out into the emptiness of the desert. When it was windy or cold, they would be folded at an angle to shelter the tent. Just by seeing a divider, tribesmen could immediately tell through the length of the piece or the use of multiple colors how rich the household was. Many of today's sustainability gurus commend the wonders of the Bedouin tent for its modular design, energy efficiency, and all biodegradable materials. The fact that such a large structure could be packed onto the back of a camel has also won wide praise. Few of us ever stop to think of the genius of Bedouin women and their contribution to this intelligent design. In the past 60 years, Kuwait's rapid development has left few traces of this sustainable past. What were once crafts that had sustained a lifestyle in extreme conditions were now bits of cut-out old cloth sold in Sulum Barkiya. The Gulf's rapid modernization created incredible benefits to its population, but it also turned a culture of survival into a culture of consumption. In 2009, I started exploring the idea of revisiting Gulf handicrafts. I felt there was a clear need, and what was available left much to be desired. I searched for craftsmen, but soon discovered that our economic model of development made it almost impossible to sustain a viable community of artisans. In 2010, I created Zeri Crafts, and the company's first project was to revisit Sedu textiles. At Sedu House, I found the perfect environment to develop my idea, soaking up knowledge from books and weavers. I learned hands-on, back-breaking, and hand-swelling movements associated with the weaving and spinning process, and developed a much deeper appreciation for this dying craft. In 2010, I met Professor Karine Canavan. Professor Canavan is a textile expert and the head of textiles at the Cardiff School of Art and Design. In 2010, she was a visiting fellow at Sedu House. She was researching the Shiala. I was looking to adapt Sedu to contemporary textiles. She ran a program of aspiring textile designers. So we came up with the idea of a textile design competition themed contemporary interpretations of Sedu. The competition was preceded by a 6-week seminar on Sedu culture, everything from the desert and its animals to the dyes and Sedu patterns. Student designs show the endless possibilities that our beautiful material craft can inspire, Sedu for the modern age. Eventually, the finalist was invited to Kuwait to work on the final designs, and it was through Sedu that a new world opened up to her, and her exposure to our culture was through these wonderful textiles. In keeping with the artisanal element of Sedu, the winning designs were to be hand-woven. It's the hand element of a craft that makes it special, gives it a story. In 2011, I was lucky enough to meet Carol Cassidy and her company, Laila Textiles. Carol ran one of the most respected weaving studios in Asia. Her background was in modernizing traditional weavings. Together we agreed on weaving the patterns of the desert with the silks of the tropics. Books on Sedu weavings made their way to lab to assist weavers with new patterns and techniques. Like Sedu, silk weaving is a women's craft. It is long and arduous. The process starts much before the weaving and involves washing the silk, dyeing, spinning, setting the loom, weaving, washing, and beading each piece. All in all, it takes between 2 to 3 weeks to complete one piece. In May 2012, 9 months after weaving started, 76 textiles were exhibited at Sedu House. Just like a tent, the installation was simple, modular, and made of natural materials. And the textiles draped just like tent dividers, where Jan and Mithran patterns were woven into new colors and textures. Although the lifestyle that gave Sedu weavings their purpose has now disappeared, and the number of Sedu weavers has dwindled to a handful, there is much to learn from this ancient craft. Lessons not only about our culture, but about how our past can help us forge a more meaningful and sustainable future. Thank you.